Welcome back again with our fifth part of the SBL paper, Planning and Decision Making, and our first topic today will be about assessing organization performance. Let us try to highlight some important points of this topic. In the exam scenario, you may be asked to perform a strategic analysis, as external and internal, so take care to interpret and use the case information and all calculation. You will only gain credit for calculations if you discuss the results. Performance analysis, or how to apply the financial analysis for business strategy and strategic choices. Ratio analysis is one of the common techniques for assessing the financial implications of business strategies. For the quantitative analysis, be sure that your answer is sufficiently well balanced. Try to consider both the financial and non-financial measures to demonstrate good professional skills. Here you are some common financial measures. You will not need to illustrate the formula or the calculation. Please try to focus on the cause of any changes, the reasons for the results, finally the implications and consequences. In other words, what this might tell us about the organization's position. One of the common profitability measures is the ROCE. It helps answering an important question. Has the business generated profit from its long-term financing? On the other hand, the asset turnover tells us how efficiently company utilized assets to generate revenue. Current and quick ratio are two common liquidity measures. How well the current assets and quick assets can cover the current liabilities. Receivables and payables collection period in days are one of the common efficiency measures, also the inventory days. The revenue per employee can also measure the employee's efficiency in generating sales. The gearing ratios tell us how risky a business is perceived to be based on its level of borrowing. Dividends and interest cover are investors' ratio that can measure the ability to cover dividends and interest by profit, after and before tax. Now try to read these measures carefully and think about how to interpret and use it. Now what about the non-financial measures as quantitative analysis techniques? Resource utilization, competitiveness, service quality, innovation and customer satisfaction are common examples of business-critical success factors. Market share, productivity, customer base, sales growth by product, customer complaints and suppliers' quality are common examples of the key performance indicators or KPIs. The key performance indicators, KPIs, are measurements of achievement of the chosen critical success factors. Here you are another example of the non-financial data that was discussed in the September 2018 exam, Question 1. Cultural problems in new country. The lack of experience. More or new resources, such as labor, suppliers, expertise. Insufficient current operating and management systems. The benchmarking has a strategic role in the performance analysis techniques. It is a process of measuring key business metrics and practices. For example, products, services, or operations. By comparing them within business areas or against companies, for example, competitor, industry peers or global. That's to understand how and where the organization needs to change in order to improve the performance level in the processes. Here you are some points about the financial analysis and strategic choice. In other words, how could you link the financial analysis to a company strategic choice? Again, by using the SAF technique. Suitability. The profit margin, asset turnover and the ROI are common financial measures that could consider the suitability of the strategic choice. In other words, the best returns from the alternative choices. Ask yourself, does the strategic choice exploit the company's strengths and fit in with the organization's purposes? For the acceptability, ask yourself, how will the strategic choice impact shareholder wealth? Will it be acceptable to shareholders? In profitability terms, the common financial measures that could help determine the acceptable return for shareholders are the NPV, the EVA and the SVA. Also, the dividend's growth, the cost-benefit analysis and the cash flow forecast. For the feasibility, you can ask yourself, does the strategic choice economically viable? Does the organization have the resources it needs to carry out it? The common financial measures that could help determine the quality of earnings or the returns are the sensitivity analysis, the break-even, the working capital analysis, the investment ratio, and the liquidity ratios. Now it's time to read one of the most important articles related to our topic, finance and planning and decision-making. The first article is the Financial Analysis in Strategic Business Leader. We have discussed it in our previous episode, please watch this video again. The second article is Assessing Organization Performance. I will leave the direct link regarding this article on the comments. This article was adapted and updated for the SBL paper from an article that originally written by Bobby Ritalik. The article provides a good practicing on the exam scenario and help the SBL candidates in understanding what is expected to create a solid answer when assessing organization performance. The article highlighted some common answer weaknesses such as limited knowledge of ratio calculations, and not linking the appraisal to scenario. Poor understanding of the topic, and what accounting information represents. Lack of commercial awareness. The article then goes on to explain how to use the exam scenario. Again, the article confirms what we discussed in the last video. You should use the scenario information, and to avoid doing many calculations on which you do not comment. You should discuss the reasons for the results of the calculations, also the implications and consequences of the results. Finally, to link the reasons to the scenario itself. Also, the article gives examples about the common financial ratios, and how to use it. It is good to read this section. Finally, the article concluded the following points. To make sure that all relevant calculations are attempted and to offer possible reasons for any change in the discussion part of the question. Ensure to provide clear discussion of possible reasons for why, specifically in the given scenario, changes in the ratios may have occurred. For more practicing, you can try to read and answer the examiner question 1B of September 2020. The slide discusses the key point of answer. In general, try highlight the main changes in calculation and reasons for it. For example, the change in revenue could be break into two elements: the price and quantity. To apply this to the question, you find that charitable activities income was increased due to the admission prices rising, although the visitor numbers were down by nearly 2%. This could mean that revenue have increased due to prices increasing, and not due to visitor increase. Please carefully read each point and don't forget to discuss both the reasons for the results of the calculations, also the implications and consequences of the results. Finally, to link the reasons to the scenario itself. Again, try to ensure that your answer is sufficiently well balanced. In other words, try to consider both the financial and non-financial performance, for example the KPIs. Now, would you like a PDF copy of this video? So, you can read and print it. Just hit like for this video and write your email on the comments. I will try to send you a soft copy. For more discussion on this topic and other topics, please visit my LinkedIn page. Goodbye.